it's Grace and I'm here to brew with you and talk with you about this coffee right here. This is the Ethiopia washed Shantawene that was grown on approximately 500 small farms near the Shantawene village and processed at a nearby washing station. Coffee plants, both wild and cultivated, they thrive here. There's a lot of water resources and a waterfall nearby that just makes for a lot of lush vegetation. This is a really delicious landrace varietal with delicate floral and fruity notes of jasmine, peach, and white tea. Now I'm going to brew using the V60. If you have one of these at home, this is the method I recommend using for this coffee in particular. I noticed personally that when I brewed using this device, the peachy acidity really shined. And if you don't already know, the V60 is a cone shape and it has like a larger hole here in the center, and it also has these ridges right here on the inside, and that helps improve the flow of coffee through the filter. So those grooves really help create space between the filter and the cone, which results in maximum expansion of the grounds, making for a really clean and balanced cup. Okay, to get started, I dosed out 15 grams of coffee and I ground it on a finer setting, like a medium fine. I'm using an Ode Fellow grinder, so I set that to 2. I also am going to be using 207-degree water. It's a little hotter than norm, but this is just gonna help speed up the brew. I'm going to brew just a single cup, about 8 ounces. Typically, when I'm dialing in a brew, I go towards a 1:16 ratio to start and then adjust from there. But I found as I was experimenting that I really liked a 1:17 with this coffee. I felt like it really just highlighted the delicate floral jasmine attributes that it had. So I thought that it balanced that acidity and that sweetness perfectly. Before I get started, I am going to wet my filter. It gets rid of any papery flavor, and it also just helps warm up the decanter and keep that coffee as hot as possible. Just make sure that you toss that water out before you start brewing. I'm starting my brew with my first pour to 30 milliliters. This is your coffee bloom, and it's a quick bubbling up of carbon dioxide and coffee grounds. Rule of thumb is that the bloom is just double the amount of coffee that you're using. In this instance, I'm using 15 grams of coffee, so I'm going to need 30 milliliters of water. Once my time reaches about 30 seconds, I'm going to pour to 155 milliliters, staying more in the center of the coffee bed. There is really no reason to pour alongside the sides near the exposed filter, as the water level will rise, making sure it saturates all of the grinds. At this point in the brew process, I recommend giving the coffee bed a little stir, making sure there are no air pockets towards the bottom of the cone and everything is nice and saturated. Around 1 minute and 30 seconds, we will pour for a second and final time to 255 milliliters, which meets our mark for a 1:17 ratio of coffee to water. The entire brew process should finish around 2 minutes and 30 seconds to 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Really nice peach note, nice mellow acidity. White tea, and of course that floral jasmine that really makes this coffee sing. Thank you so much for watching. You can purchase this coffee at the link below. Leave your questions and comments and we'll get back to you with answers.